Welcome to episode 29 of Meet the GIMP. My name is Rolf Steinort and I'm recording this in Bremen, northern Germany. And this week I'll open one of the tin cans I made before Christmas. Let's talk about the drawing tools. The first one is the pencil, and a pencil works with very hard edges. You see here there is really a straight line, and if I go into it with high magnification, you see each pixel is either black or white. When I use the paintbrush for that, I get an option which is anti-aliased at the edges. And when I switch back to the zoom, you see this is a hard line with visible jaggies, and this here is a quite soft line. Back to the pencil here, you see the pencil is very sharp in the edges, and this is smooth. That you can't see here, the jaggies, is a trick for the eye, or a trick of the eye. When I just enlarge it, you see it here. It's anti-aliased. This is the main difference between the pencil and the paintbrush. Otherwise, they are nearly equal in their options. But let's start with this one here, with the paintbrush, and I'll go to the differences for the pencil afterwards. The modes are just the same as in the layer modes, and you can here multiply or overlay or so, but I'll cover these modes later. That here, opacity, controls how much visible the line is, or the color is. I go here to let's say 25%, and now I just get a light gray out of my line. And when I cross this line, you see here the color gets stronger, but only, you see this here, only if I go over it with a new line. Let's check this here. I should enlarge this, and here I use a bigger brush. Let's take this one here. I draw a line, it's gray. I draw a second line, and the intersection is dark gray. And now I draw a third line over here. It's an even darker gray, but when I paint back, it doesn't get darker on that side. So this works only from stroke to stroke, and so you can easily cover an area, paint an area over here with this gray, and don't have to watch for carefully filling this. You can paint over the edges, but there's an option for that here, incremental. When you select incremental, you get much stronger effect. Well, I have to introduce you here to another thing. Let's go to the options of the brushes here. The spacing of this brush is set to 20%. So after I've drawn a brush is basically a stamp which stamps the same pattern on and if I enlarge this here, you see it here. After 20% of the size of the brush, there is a next impression of this brush. And oh well, you see it here also. Here each brush overlays itself, and when I paint with this option here, deselected, I'm on the zoom tool, okay. When I deselect incremental, you see here, you see each stamping of the brush, but you see there is no painting over. I have to start a second line, and here incremental selected, I just paint over and over. I never have painted in this magnification. Looks great. Well, back to 100%. So I have covered opacity and incremental. Let's go back with the opacity to 100%, and now I'm drawing again perfect black. This is only meaningful if you have an opacity lower than 100. This here controls the size of the pen here. This is 1. This is a circle 19. Cover the brushes and all you can do with these in the next edition. I just go down here to, let's say, 0.05, and now I have a very fine line, and I go up, let's say, to 2 and a bit, and I have a broad line, and this controls the diameter of the brush, and you can access that with the square brackets. Not so good on a German keyboard because I have to use the modifier key Alt-GR, and now I'm going down with open square bracket, and now I'm going up with close square bracket. It's a nice thing to do this on the fly here. Just this is nearly invisible, or this is invisible, so I can adjust this here without leaving the area where I paint, and going here to this slider. If someone of the GIMP people is looking, I would love to have a button here for getting back to 1. So scale is covered. Well, this is a brush, will be in the next edition, next episode. So pressure sensitivity. This is really an option now because I have a new recording software, and let me clear this here, and here I can use, with this recording software, I can use my Wacom tablet. And okay, let's look here at opacity. Now I can just draw slightly without a lot of pressure, and you see here I have a line with gray, and now I increase the pressure and release the pressure, increase it again, and so I can do some drawings. And you see why I'm not a graphic artist, but doing my stuff with photography. But this is useful if you're painting a mask or applying one of the other effects here. Just doing a bit or a bit more, that is quite useful. So this controls the opacity, the hardness, with not much pressure. There's a soft border, and when I increase the pressure, the paintbrush gets more and more to pen. This tool here, pencil. This makes this hard border, and this can make a hard border if I really press on the tablet. And I can change the size with pressure sensitivity, or I can change the color. Let me select the background color for this one here. So let's use this red here, and for the foreground let's use a nice green. And now when I'm painting here, Have I selected this color? Yes. When I'm painting here with low pressure, I get red, and now I'm increasing the green, and now I'm increasing the pressure. With high pressure, I get red, and if I release, I get green or greenish stuff again. This is, and in between it goes through all the colors between this. The last option is use color from gradient. There are gradients in. Let me look. I haven't here a tab for gradients. Just get it here. File, dialogues, and gradients. I think it's just out of the area where I record. Here is a gradient, and now I just grab this here and pull it to here, and now I have the gradient here in. I have a real big selection of gradients. Let's say here this one, and now I go back here, use color from gradient, and now when I'm painting, the paint goes through this pattern on the gradient. It's quite fun for some things like writing with this here. Looks like made out of a tube or so. Well, these were here was a gradient. This were the options. You can play with these here in the gradients. These were the options common for all the tools which use brushes, and this is the pencil, the paintbrush, the eraser here, the airbrush, which lacks some of them here, and has some additional options. The ink has no brush, but a lot of the other options here. The clone tool, and the healing brush here, and the perspective clone tool, and even these modifiers here like blur and sharpen or smudge and dodge and burn. They have all these options here. But let's go back to the pencil here, to our pencil and paintbrush. Just clear this again. There are some tricks which you can use here. First one is drawing a line. When I try to draw a straight line, it's a bit difficult. But when I first set one point here, click, and now I'm pressing the Shift key and I get a straight line. Here I have a straight line. Next thing, I just set a point and I press Control and Shift. Oh, better Shift and Control. And now I'm blocked here in my rotation to 15 degrees. And so I can draw really easily straight lines with defined angles. So, what a masterpiece here. The last modifier for this is the Shift key. For that I need well, let's take the gradient tool here again. Here I have a bit of different colors, and I use a smaller circle and go back to my normal color, my standard colors. When I now press the Control key, I can select a color. You see here the front color, the foreground color, has changed to that blue tone. So I can pick a color somewhere out of the image, which is quite nice if you want to paint in something, and you have a picture and there's the color you need, you just control click on it and you have that specific color on your palette. Sorry, that was wrong. So that is quite nice. Basically, the eraser is the same tool as the pen or the brush, because it's just the opposite. The eraser does the same, but it goes back, it paints basically with the background color. You can see it here. I think the pressure sensitivity is on, yeah, opacity is on. Switch it off. When I just switch here to black and white again and switch them white as a foreground color, and now I'm using the pen again, I can have the same effect as the eraser, and now erasing gets black. So this is just a shortcut for these tools. It just changes foreground and background color. You can do that on the fly with the key X. X switches between these two colors. I hope that I have covered now enough of the pencil and the paintbrush and also the eraser. And this was it for this week. Next week I'll be back with another show from the tin cans, because I have to build the schedule at school and have some other stuff to do. Goodbye.
Photocastnetwork.com, your photography resource in the potosphere. Photocastnetwork.com